Our next speaker is an education technology investor and founder, and as you'll see from his talk, he loves sci-fi. Please welcome Eric Lavin.
Thank you. I'm Eric, and that's me, and I'm going to talk about ecosystems, the EdTech ecosystem, and other ecosystems, and thanks for the opportunity and for the prompt. All I knew at the beginning was I wanted this title, The Arrival of the Future, because at the time I was reading this book, The Arrival of the Fittest. The author is this guy, Andreas Wagner, and he has a team in a lab, and they look at how how evolution arrived. He calls them natural innovations, a sequence of natural innovations. And the secret is basically there are these hacks that we've discovered in nature, and it allows for beneficial exchange of information. So, for example, he'll look at something like photosynthesis. And like my very short version of this is, channeling Andreas, is 2 billion years ago, some chloroplasts, basically, we're struggling in the adjacent possible, and they configure themselves in such a way where, the energy from the sun comes in, and then out comes these carbon and, beneficial waste products, and it unlocks our carbon cycle and our carbon surplus and the Cambrian explosion and dinosaurs and humans and cities and EdTech and Ignite talks. And I'm arriving in the future, and it's an organic process, and it's about interacting with information. And there are some configurations that are going to work. And when something works, at least in my industry, you end up like showcasing at a technology showcase like this. This is a BET in London, the world's largest education technology showcase. And it's a good place for me to like flash fry what's going on in the ecosystem, what's state of the art. So this is a slide I put together for some clients, and should be some familiar terms like AI. Let's talk about AI and AR and agents and avatars. And the ecosystem is pushing it all forward. And we talk about tech ecosystems and EdTech ecosystems, and what's really going on here is this like a super duper positive sum information feedback loop. And actually with the help of Claude, I aligned this to the EdTech ecosystem, and I am kind of going around the EdTech ecosystem trying to have beneficial exchanges of information with innovators, with researchers, with users, and it's growing up. And I recognize this is not the only thing going on. We all exist in larger systems, and our civilization's progressing through like cycles of technological upsurge, and our culture and governance mechanisms are regulating all of this. And the world is kind of where it is. I'm pretty confident we're going to get this technology, but it's not guaranteed that we're going to have the best implementation of the technology. We always have a choice, and we've made interesting choices in our history, and the world is not without its problems. And recently, the president basically admitted that we're doing a bad job of getting the kids to read good by 3rd grade. And this is a challenge of civilizational importance, and we know how to motivate kids. We know how to upskill kids to the alphabet, and we can do better with EdTech and with schools. And this is a good time to introduce the most inspiring sci-fi for EdTech, which is Neal Stephenson's Diamond Age, in which he basically describes the illustrated primer. Yes, it's very good, and it's epic stories and side quests, and basically it's set in the future, and neo-Victorian nanotech engineer John Hackworth engineers the infinite context tutor. Nell gets her hands on this book and proceeds to kick ass. And ever since, education innovators have been saying, when does this become sci-fact? Some of you may know Neal Stephenson because his previous book, published in '92, Snow Crash, termed the coin's metaverse, and gave Google their Google Maps or Google Earth product spec. And so ever since, tech innovators have been interacting with the ideas in the book and are interacting with the new paradigms of technology that are emerging. And it's getting exciting, it's getting fun, we're getting close. There's a lot of shots being taken on goal. I'm excited for the future. There's gonna be some awesome stuff, but I think most of us know that most of these things are not going to quote unquote work. They're going to be with me in this corner of the ecosystem with the junked prototypes and plans and decomposting ideas, important ideas for the next generation of entrepreneurs. And I'm going to leave you with two thoughts. It's a little bit ahead of schedule. Be inspired by nature and be inspired by good sci-fi, and you'll be ready for the arriving future.
Thank you very much, Eric.